everyone, welcome to our platform Online Study for You, one-step solution for all your placement needs. In this video, we are going to discuss about the coding questions that were asked in TCS and QT 18th Feb and 19th Feb exam. So make sure to watch the complete video. Also do subscribe this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. This channel is going to be really helpful for your placement preparation. And don't forget to install our Online Study for You app. The link for the app is given in the description itself. This app has various resources that are definitely going to be very helpful for all the students. So do check our app. Link for the app is given in the description itself. You all must be knowing that TCS has again started hiring for 19 and 20 pass out. So start your preparation for TCS NQT from our TCS NQT live coding crash course, which has been started from 20th of Feb. Still there is a time. Be the part of this course. The price is just rupees 149 so that you all can learn and you all can prepare. So be a part. The link for the course is given in the description itself. Happy learning, guys. Also, we have our TCS NQT 2021 new pattern crash course which covers all the important concepts along with important questions. Not only this, you will get all the solved questions that were asked in TCS NQT October exam, which is definitely going to be helpful for all of you. So do check our course. Link for the course is given in the description itself. And I hope this year you will be a part of TCS. Happy learning! So here's our first question. Our cricket coach want to measure the area of cricket ground and he knows the radius of the cricket ground. Guys, this question has been shared by the students as if this time the TCS and QT exam was on center. So this question has been shared by the students. So maybe a case that there is some changes in the language. Although the logic, the way the question is going to be solved is the same, right? So the radius of the cricket ground, given formula they have provided to calculate the area is that we all know that what is the formula for circle. So that is pi r square, right? And they have provided the value of pi as 3.1415. Also there is a constraint. It is given that r should be greater than equal to 20 and less than equal to 30. Also, so if he enters any number less than 20 and greater than 30, it should display wrong display output input. If he enters any number between 20 and 30, the program should calculate the area and print the area as output. Case 1 is given. Suppose the input is 22, then the output is going to be 1520.486. Suppose the input is given is 34 and you can see 34 is greater than 30. That's why in the output we are getting wrong display output, right? So this is a pretty easy program. Just you have to take care of certain conditions, the constraints they have mentioned, and that's it. So instead of explaining the same, I will show you how to implement and we will discuss the logic there itself. So let us see the implementation. So let's take an integer r. So basically r is here radius, right? Next we will check. So basically we have to follow a certain constraint that r value should be greater than equal to 20 and it should be less than equal to 30, right? So if this is the case, what we will do, we will simply calculate the area. So that is, we will simply print percentage f and 1415. So they have provided the value of pi as 1415, right? And r into r. Else, if this is not the case, so what we will do, if this is not the case, we will simply print wrong display output, right? And let's run our code. Okay, so see what is the case. For 22 we are getting 1520.486 and these many zeros, but they are asking up to, so they are asking to limit the digits after decimal point. So many of the students couldn't pass the test case just because of this simple mistake, right? So a simple modification that we have to do in this code. um, I did this because I want to show that why some of the students were not able to pass the test cases. So because of this reason, they forgot to limit the digits after decimal point. So now if you will run it, 22 is the radius. So you can see we are getting 1520.486. Let's try for other input values. So suppose if we are taking 34, so we are getting wrong display output, right? So this was a kind of easy program. Although there were some compiler issues many of the students told, so maybe a case, but if you have did right, so maybe a case that some marks will be rewarded to you, so don't worry about this, right? Let's see the next question now. So here's another question. Alexa is a mathematical teacher. She likes to ask puzzles, math problems to all the students of class 10th A. The time she has given a math problem with below conditions. A number should be natural number, right? A number should be Armstrong number, and a number should be displayed between intervals n1 and n2. Write the code to find out numbers that satisfying above three conditions. Okay, so what is a natural number? 0 is a natural number or not? Is it? No, 0 is not a natural number, right? So if someone is saying 0, so we have to remove it, right? Next condition they have mentioned is Armstrong number. So what is an Armstrong number? So suppose 153 is a number given to you. Now someone is asking whether it is Armstrong or not. So how to determine? What is the strategy to determine? So basically first you must be knowing that what is the how many digits the number has. How many digits 153 has? 3. So the length of the digits, that is going to length of the number, that is 3. So we will raise this power 3 to all the digits of this number and we will sum it up. If this summation is equal to the number itself, so you can determine, you can conclude that this is the Armstrong number. For example, here 1 cube plus 5 cube, this we have taken 3 because the digits present in this number are 3. So 1 cube plus 5 cube plus 3 cube is going to be 125 plus 27 is going to be 153, right? So 153 is an Armstrong number, right? I hope you are clear with this. Even the same kind of problem was asked in Wipro as well, somewhat related. So you must be clear that what is an Armstrong number, right? Let me show you an example to make it more clear. For example, the input given is 100 to 200. So basically in this given range, we have to determine the number or numbers. So maybe a case there is one number only, or maybe a case that there are more than one number, right? So we have to determine all those numbers that which are satisfying these conditions, that it should be a natural number, should be Armstrong, and should be given should be displayed between intervals n1 and n2. Also guys, you don't have to worry because in the question they have mentioned uh, like in the TCS NQT exam, it was mentioned that what is an Armstrong number, so you don't have to manually memorize it. But I would suggest that you must be knowing this because most of the time the same question like Armstrong number is kind of a common program that is usually asked. So you must be aware of an Armstrong number, right? So here in this range 100 to 200, the number that is satisfying all the conditions is 153. Now another input that they have given is -1. So basically -1 is not a natural number. So it is not even satisfying the first condition. So that's why in the output we are getting wrong input, right? So this is the case. I hope you understood the question. So let's see the implementation of same using Python. So first we will take n1, that is lower limit, and then n2, that is upper limit, right? Okay. Next what we will do, so we have to run a loop for I in range. So basically n1 and n2 both are inclusive. So that's why we will write I in range n1 to n2 plus 1, because if you will simply write n2, so n2 won't be included, but here we want to include n2, that's why I'm writing n2 plus 1. So here we will check that if, or simply just write if Armstrong. So I will write the code for Armstrong logic. I will define a function basically. So if Armstrong I, in that case we will just simply print I, right? So that is the thing. Now what we have to check here, so here first of all we have to check that if, so first of all we have to check here that if n1 less than equal to 0 or n2 less than equal to 0, in that case we have to simply print wrong input, right? And if this is not the case, then we will move to this part, right? So let me arrange it accordingly. Okay, so that is the case. Now what we have to do, let's define the function Armstrong. So Armstrong is taking this number. So first of what we have to do for Armstrong, so let's take a temporary variable to hold the number. So now what we will do, we will write the actual logic for Armstrong. What is the logic for Armstrong? That while our TEM, so currently TEM is holding the value of n not equal to 0, not equal to 0. So what we will do, so basically we have to take the mod of our number, that is 10 by 10, and then let's take another variable s to store the summation of the digits. So s equal to s plus rem raised to length of str. Okay, so let me take another variable. So we want to raise each digit of the number by the length of the number. So for this, let me take a variable len str of n. Now why I did this type conversion, why I converted this number into a string, because we cannot determine the length of a number. So that's why I first converted this number into a string, and then I simply use this function len to determine the length of the number. So rem, okay, so s plus rem raised to l, right? So that is the thing. Now after, also we want to get rid of the number that we are considering here, so that's why I'm doing tem mod 10. After coming out of this loop, we will check if tem, we will check if s equal n, in that case return true, else we will return false, right? So that's it guys, let's run our code. So 100, 200, we are getting 153. Let's try other ranges as well. So 100, 1000, we are getting 153, 370, 371, 407. Okay, let me give this time -1, 200. So we are getting wrong input because -1 is not an natural number. Even the first condition is not satisfied, right? So you can see the code was pretty much easy this time. If we compare this with the October in Qt, so this time the code was pretty much easy. I hope that you all have done well this time in the TCS and Qt, right? Also keep preparing for the upcoming TCS and QT. So do check our courses, they are definitely going to help you. And in case of any doubt or any query, do comment. We will try to reply you all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.